Once upon a time, in a kingdom nestled between majestic mountains and enchanted forests, there lived a princess named Snow White. With skin as fair as freshly fallen snow, lips as red as ripe cherries, and hair as dark as a raven's wing, she was the epitome of beauty. Yet, her life was shadowed by the jealousy of her stepmother, the queen, who possessed a magic mirror that proclaimed her the fairest of them all. But one fateful day, the mirror revealed a painful truth. Snow White had surpassed her in beauty. Consumed by envy, the queen devised a wicked plan. She summoned a huntsman and ordered him to take Snow White deep into the forest and rid the world of her. However, the huntsman, moved by the princess's innocence and kindness, could not carry out the order. Instead, he warned her to flee and never return to the castle. Snow White ran through the forest, her heart pounding, until she stumbled upon a quaint little cottage. Exhausted, she entered and was greeted by a sight that made her smile. The cottage was small but cozy, filled with the warmth of a roaring fire and the scent of wildflowers. As she explored, she discovered 7 tiny beds, each perfectly arranged. As night fell, the owners of the cottage returned. They were 7 dwarfs: Doc, the wise leader; Grumpy, the skeptical one with a heart of gold; Happy, the ever-joyful spirit; Sleepy, who could hardly keep his eyes open; Bashful, shy yet sweet; Sneezy, who always had a cold; and Dopey, the lovable mute with a playful spirit. They were taken aback to find Snow White in their home, but her gentle nature quickly won them over. Snow White shared her story, and the dwarfs, understanding her plight, offered her refuge. They formed a bond, sharing laughter and adventures in the forest. Each day, Snow White would cook and clean, while the dwarfs worked in the mines, bringing home gems that sparkled like stars. However, the queen soon discovered that Snow White was alive. In a fit of rage, she transformed into an old hag and concocted a poisoned apple. Disguised, she approached the cottage and offered the fruit to Snow White, who, unaware of the danger, took a bite. Instantly, she fell to the ground, lifeless. The dwarfs returned home to find their beloved friend in a deep slumber. Heartbroken, they placed her in a glass coffin in the forest, mourning their loss. Time passed, and one day, a prince, drawn by tales of the beautiful maiden, stumbled upon the coffin. Struck by her beauty, he leaned down and kissed her softly. With that kiss, the spell was broken. Snow White awoke, her eyes fluttering open, and joy filled the air. The dwarfs cheered and the prince smiled, realizing he had found his true love. Together, they vanquished the queen, who was consumed by her own dark magic. Snow White and the prince returned to the kingdom, where they ruled with kindness and wisdom. The dwarfs remained close friends, visiting the castle often. And so, in a realm where love triumphed over jealousy, Snow White and her companions lived happily ever after.